All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something that feels a little bit like magic, how streaming services seem to read your mind. We're going to decode how they find your perfect movie twin.
You know that feeling, right? You watch a movie and you're just like, wow, this was made for me. Well, what if there's a total stranger out there who feels the exact same way about all the same movies you do? That person, that's your movie twin.
And this isn't just some fun thought experiment. It's literally the mission for services like Netflix. Their incredibly complex algorithms are basically designed to do one thing: hunt down your movie doppelganger.
So, let's put on our detective hats. We're going to treat this like a real-life mystery. We've got the data, we've got the suspects, and our job? It's to solve the case of the perfect movie match.
Okay, so here's the setup for our investigation. The main question is simple. Who out there is the most similar to our target, who we'll call user A? Finding their movie soulmate, that's the key to unlocking the perfect recommendation.
Every good mystery needs a cast of characters, right? So let's meet our lineup. We've got 4 different users, and they've all rated 4 movies on a simple 1 to 5-star scale. These ratings? These are our clues.
And just taking a quick look at the data, you can already see their personalities popping out. User A, they're really into sci-fi but can't stand animation like Shrek. User D is the total opposite. They love Shrek but gave Inception a 1. And in between, we have users B and C, our other 2 suspects, each with their own unique taste profile.
Now, to crack a case like this, you can't just guess. You need the right tools. Our very first detective tool is going to be super meticulous, examining every single point of difference in the evidence.
So technically it's called the L1 norm, but let's just call it total difference. It's way easier to remember. The idea is super simple. You just add up all the differences between 2 users' ratings for every single movie. And here's the key. The lower the score, the closer the match.
And here's how it works. It's literally as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, you calculate the rating difference for each movie. Second, you just ignore any negative signs. We only care about the distance, not the direction. And third, you add them all up. That final number, that's your score.
Okay, the lab results are in. And wow, look at this. User D, they're way off in left field with a huge score of 12. But user C, a score of just 2. That is our first big lead.
So, based on this first clue, our prime suspect is definitely user C. But, you know, any good detective knows you can't just rely on one piece of evidence. We've got to dig deeper.
So for our next clue, we're pulling out a different tool from our kit. This one's less about counting every little disagreement and more about, well, getting the overall vibe. It's looking for who's closest in the big picture. This one's called the L2 norm. And yeah, it sounds a little mathy, but think of it like this. It's measuring the actual straight-line distance between 2 people's tastes. It's figuring out who is literally their closest neighbor in what we could call taste space.
And what do you know? The numbers look a bit different, but the story they tell is exactly the same. User C is once again the closest by a long shot. The case against them is getting really, really strong.
All right, we've brought the data in for questioning. We've used 2 of our most powerful tools. The evidence is all pointing in one direction. It is time for the big reveal.
And wow, just look at this chart. It could not be clearer. See that tiny little bar for user C? Compared to everyone else, it's not even a competition. The visual proof is just overwhelming. Mathematically, user C is, without a doubt, the most similar person to user A. And it's not just us saying this. The actual analysis confirms it, flat out. It shows that no matter how you slice it, L1, L2, even more advanced methods, user C is always the closest. The evidence is undeniable.
So you might be thinking, case closed, right? Well, almost. There's one last crucial piece of the puzzle. Our investigation turned up something interesting. User C watched a movie that user A hasn't seen yet, Interstellar, and they loved it, gave it a perfect 5 stars.
So, what does all this mean for our user A?
And boom, there it is. This is the entire point of the investigation. All that math, all that analysis, it all boils down to this one simple, powerful idea. Because your movie twin absolutely loved Interstellar, the system is pretty darn sure that you will too. And that, right there, is how a recommendation is born.
So let's just quickly recap the tools in our detective kit, shall we? We had the L1 norm, which is like the meticulous detective counting every single difference. Then the L2 norm,
which is all about finding that general similarity, the overall vibe. And there's even another one, the L-infinity norm, which zeroes in on the single biggest deal breaker between two people. It's like having 3 different experts all working together to solve the case. So the next time a streaming service just nails a recommendation, gets it so right it's almost spooky, you'll know what's happening behind the scenes. Its algorithms sent out their best detectives, and they found your movie twin. Now the only question is, which one do you think cracked your case?
Thanks for watching. If you learned something new, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more awesome content.